So that assignment you gave me, the lawsuit filed against Brash and Sassy, I did some digging.
And?
There's been a filing at the courthouse, but no names or allegations yet.
Okay, well, keep at it.
I did. Oh, I have a source.
Who?
Well, you may know him, Devon. I also know the parties involved, Kane and Juliet.
Really? Wow.
You knew all about this. I also know you're the one who advised Juliet on what lawyer to hire. You weren't counting on me digging up that little nugget, were you?
Hillary is helping Juliet. Why am I not surprised? That woman loves messing with me.
You know, I thought you'd be a lot angrier than this.
Oh, it's because I know something Hillary doesn't. Juliet is dropping the lawsuit. According to Kane, it's over.
Michael would have called if Juliet dropped the case.
Okay, don't worry. He's gonna call soon. It's gonna be official.
Why are you so positive that Julia changed her mind?
Because I went last night and saw and we hashed the whole thing out.
What? What are you thinking, Kane?
Possible thing you could have done.
Scott?
Hey, coffee's on, juice is poured, and frittata's in the oven.
No last-minute bon voyage call from Dina.
No, it appears our mother will be staying on in Genoa City.
Yeah, at the athletic club, I hear.
Because she has no interest in staying in the family home.
No, she has no interest in leaving Graham behind at the hotel. Obviously, she's trying to keep him happy.
So you're not flying back to Paris?
Well, I'm so enjoying my time here with the family that I see no harm in staying a bit longer.
You don't seem pleased.
Oh no, I'm just surprised.
Perhaps your new partner is concerned this might alter things.
I don't like the word partner. Devon and Neil have bought the company. I merely retain a seat on the board. That said, Devon, we should make full use of Graham. I'd hate to see his skills go to waste.
Forgot about the eggs.
We'll make more.
So after Kane spoke to Juliet and he was telling her that...
Kane saw her alone?
Yeah, I know. Victoria and Michael won't be happy.
Nor should they, Lily.
No, look, I had the same reaction when he first told me, but it worked. He told her that she's punishing him, me, our family, when really it's the company that she resents. I know it was risky, but somehow he got through to her.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Kane is confident it's only a matter of time before the lawsuit is dropped, and this is all over.
I told you to stay away from her, and you ignored me. On top of the news that I just got.
Wait, what news did you
From
get?
Michael. It came out in the judge's chambers that you almost blew the deal in Tokyo, and Juliet had to come to your rescue.
You gonna deny that too?
You kept this from me, Kane. And you went to see Juliet. How am I supposed to trust you?
I am sorry for what happened in Tokyo, okay? It was wrong.
But I can't change it and I can't make up for it. All I can do is just apologize to you and promise you that it will not happen again. That's all I can do.
Kane, it already
You ignored a
has.
direct order.
I had to go to her and try and shut this down. That's what I had to do.
That's why we're paying an attorney.
Betty hasn't managed to stop it, has he? So I went to her and it worked because I told her that I understand why she's angry and she has every right because the way she was treated, okay? That she can't accuse me of sexual harassment when it didn't happen, and she agreed.
Okay, so hold on a second. What if she's just saying exactly what you want to hear?
No. She called Leslie before I left the room.
Where's Leslie? And why are we hearing this from you and not Juliet's lawyer or ours?
Have I told you lately how much I love our breakfast conversations?
Sorry. I'm just drowning in legalese here.
I understand, believe me.
Just like I understand why you keep checking your phone.
That was because
It's Scott. You're worried about him.
he didn't come home last time.
Sweetheart, your son is a grown man who may have other places to stay every now and then.
I understand that, but Sharon, really?
Why not Sharon?
Have you forgotten about Christian? That woman essentially stole a child.
We both know why you're zeroing in on this. What happened with Scott and Sheila has nothing to do with this.
Tell your client I don't want any more surprise visits.
Why would Victoria...
Kane stopped by my room last night. You know how that's going to look in court, right?
Dina and Graham both have suites at the GCAC. Clearly, she doesn't want him to leave her side. That tells us exactly how he rates with her.
I have yet to get a real answer from Dina about this guy or from anything you've told me. One thing we do know, he can't be too thrilled that Dina's decided not to go back to Paris just yet.
And yet he's not happy just having her to himself at the hotel. He wants an ocean between her and her children. Why?
I hope you're not planning another confrontation.
No, are you kidding? That did not go very well. I'm gonna have to find a new approach if I'm gonna figure this guy out and what he wants with our mother.
Dina, if you don't mind me asking, what talents of Graham's would you hope to see me use?
Well, personally, I find Graham to be an invaluable advisor. And I feel quite certain we'll be able to find a proper place for him within the company.
Right. Well, that's something that I would have to run by Neil, of course.
Well, of course, do it.
Devon, let me reassure you. Dina has more than enough personal business to keep her busy here in Genoa City. She'll be giving you and your father all the space you need to run the company as you see fit. Our only goal is to be supportive.
Well, that's great to hear. And my goal is to manage all of the tools that I have at my disposal to make this venture a success.
Oh, Devon reminds me so much of my granddaughter, Abby. All that wonderful drive and special enthusiasm and purpose.
I've always admired Abby. She's a great friend of mine.
I remember.
And you know what? I'm sure she's thrilled that you're staying in town. If you'll excuse me, though, take off.
Well, young man, do talk to Neil and keep us posted how things are shaping up with your company.
Of course, will do.
I'll make sure he follows through. We need to protect your interests. You seem distracted. Are you thinking about your talk with Jack last night?
I heard him. By not accepting his offer to stay at the house.
Well, you hardly need me to point this out, but you're in much better hands with me.
I know. I really feel I should go see Jack and clear the air.
Just don't let him talk you into anything.
I won't.
Juliet asked me for a recommendation, so I gave her one.
And then you had me dig into the lawsuit knowing exactly what I would find.
Why would I?
So no one could accuse you of having a stake in this.
The only stake in this is news for my show. And when everything that Kane did comes out in court, news.
Nobody has proven that Kane did anything.
You know what? I think you're a little too emotionally invested. I'm taking you off this story. I'll take it from here.
Do you really think that Kane cheated on Lily and then used his position at Brash and Sassy to get what he wanted from Juliet?
It doesn't really matter what I believe. If it's news, we cover it. And when this lands in court, oh, you are gonna be so sorry that I'm the one on the national news feed and not you. Mm.
Lily,
Mariah, hey, what's up?
you didn't hear from me, but watch your back.
Okay, that's cryptic. Why are you whispering?
I'm at work. You know what Juliet's claiming, right?
How did you find out?
The news isn't public yet, but that may soon change, and the coverage may not exactly be objective.
Hillary?
Who else?
Thanks for the heads up. Damn it. How did I not see this coming?
All right, look, we're gonna hear from Leslie soon, but in the meantime, here. Would you like the honor of calling Michael and telling him the case is dead?
No, because we don't know that that's gonna happen, and Michael should be the one telling us that.
Also,
All right.
says.
I know, Leslie, emotions are running high, but I'm not going to let you blow this out of proportion. Now listen. Hello? You went to Juliet's hotel alone?
What did Leslie say?
What do you think she said? You just handed her a huge present, a winning case all wrapped up in a nice shiny bow.
That was amazing.
It's just eggs.
But you cooked.
Well, you impress easily.
I assure you that I do not, but this morning I have been impressed by many things.
Oh. From Victor. Where are you? Sounds like he doesn't appreciate my playing hooky.
Shocker.
Having breakfast with a major rainmaker. Sorry, I can't talk. Hit you later. Send.
Taking off Victor Newman. Risky.
It's worth it.
So, what else do you cook?
This is pretty much it. What?
I'll bet this is your go-to morning after menu, isn't it?
Some more coffee.
Oh, admit it. I'm not the first woman you've cooked this up for.
On occasion, perhaps. But this is the first time that I've ever really put my heart into it.
You handed Juliet's lawyer a lethal weapon. Leslie is going to paint that visit as a back-channel attempt to pressure Juliet into dropping the suit.
That's not what happened. All I did was go there and appeal to her conscience.
So what you did is turn this from a crisis into an all-out disaster.
When I left there last night, Juliet was prepared to forget about all of this. I don't know what happened. Maybe Leslie saw these billable hours evaporate, so she decided to double down.
You're gonna blame the lawyer? That's not a good idea.
Stop.
Okay, look, enough. You compromised us by going out on your own, and I am furious right now. But we need solutions, not arguments. I think we should revisit your idea about expediting the discovery phase.
Wait, what does that mean?
In a civil suit, before the trial begins, all potential witnesses are questioned under oath before the judge is present.
You mean depositions?
It's a chance for all sides to learn what evidence the other side has.
Well, how is that gonna help us?
Could expose just how little Leslie has to work with.
Or maybe help convince Juliet that her best bet is to settle privately, or perhaps even drop the case completely.
Michael can grill Juliet and make her back up her so-called claims.
That means I have to testify too, right?
That's right. Especially since you're the only one who can refute what Juliet is claiming.
It's your chance to prove she lied on the record.
Lily?
I have had it with you. You have officially gone too far.
Haven't we had this argument already?
It is one thing to nudge Juliet towards filing a lawsuit, but if you go on air with baseless claims about Kane, you'll be the one getting sued.
If Kane is innocent,
If?
then you will have nothing to worry about. If he's not, then you'll have bigger problems than me. A shaky marriage, a shiny new spokesmodel career on the line. Ugh.
See, you think everyone is as shallow and vapid as you are. I'm not even thinking about my job. But all of this will be gone after our slander suit.
It ain't slander if it's true.
It's not true, and you know that.
Really? I mean, you're not even a little bit suspicious? Because I would think that Kane would be entitled to a little something on the side, especially since you cheated on the man.
Are you that determined to lash out at me that you would drag my family through hell with these lies? Have you even thought about Charlie and Maddie?
Maybe your husband should have thought about his family before he instructed Juliet on how to get ahead in her career.
You are disgusting.
It's not my problem that you don't know how to keep your husband satisfied.
Did you really just say that to me? Did you really just say that to me?
How many times do I have to referee
Keep that crazy girl away from me.
Fine.
I wasn't expecting you, Mother.
Well, I guess I should have called first.
No, you're always welcome here. I am a little surprised to see you, though.
Well, I was concerned about the way we left things.
You mean when you decided to stay at the hotel suite rather than at home with your family?
Well, I hope you understand how much it meant to me, that invitation.
Apparently not enough for you to accept my invitation.
Well, I think it's the best decision.
You think, or Graham thinks?
Why does it always have to be about Graham?
I don't know, Mother. You tell me.
It's not about him.
No?
No.
And why do I get the feeling that you are not comfortable unless he is constantly at your side?
I depend on him.
Yes, you've said as much. And you prefer that to depending on your children.
I have no experience depending on my children, just as my children have no experience depending on me.
Is that what this is about? This is why you can't come home? Is it the memories?
Memories? What memories, son? That house reminds me of all the special moments I could have had. And I didn't. And there's no one to blame but me.
The Young and the Restless will continue.
The next time you think I've run out on you, you should, think about it.
I will, because I know better.
Because I fed you?
Mm-hmm. Because that's not the kind of person you are. From the moment we started talking at Crimson Lights, when you decided to help a poor student who was freaking out over a paper she had to write, there was nothing in it for you, but you decided to help.
Well, turns out there was something in it for me after all.
Mm-hmm. When Dylan left, it was just very sudden. So it was hard for me to imagine what would be next for me. It was actually easier to think that nothing would ever happen. And then you snuck up on me.
Like you did with me. I was meant to come home and recuperate for a few weeks and then get back out there covering war stories, but you gave me a good reason to stick around. I'll call you.
Lily, hang on 1 second. You still think Hillary pushed Juliet into filing the lawsuit?
Ask her if she got a finder's fee for supplying Juliet with a lawyer.
You're kidding.
No, she'll put a spin on that. She's great at that. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry that you won't get a chance at destroying my family. Juliet's dropping the case. Kane didn't do any of the things that you're accusing him of. And by the way, our marriage is still strong.
Is that true?
About me helping Juliet? Okay, please, it's hardly some conspiracy. The woman asked for a recommendation and I gave her one. What's the crime in that?
And you get a jump on the juicy story.
Well, according to Lily, it's a non-story.
that you would have exploited.
I'm a reporter. Okay, and a case with Brash and Sassy? What, do you want me to just not do my job?
Depends on how well you do it.
Okay, now you're not making any sense.
No?
No.
Let's see if I got this right. Juliet gets fired, and then suddenly she starts talking a lawsuit after you came along conveniently hooking her up with the lawyer. And then when this thing hits, you get the exclusive.
That is not what happened, okay?
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. You're hurting Lily. You're hurting Victoria. Hell, I work for Brash and Sassy. You're hurting me too. And all for what? To get some boost in your ratings? Hope you're happy with yourself.
Jordan, stop.
Could this be a mistake, rushing into something like a deposition?
Maybe.
With this thing potentially going public, we're on a ticking clock here.
Well, we need to come up with as much ammunition as we can before that happens. Michael, has your investigator been able to turn up anything on Juliet?
Unfortunately, no. Juliet is completely clean. Her prior consulting clients can't say enough good things about her. She's never made any accusations of this nature or had any ethical breaches.
Until now.
She graduated top of her class. She never got in trouble in college.
What about personal problems, ex-boyfriend, stuff like that?
If you're hoping she turns out to be a stalker, forget it. There's nothing like that.
Social media.
No drunken photos, no embarrassing posts. To be honest, she would make a phenomenal witness, especially if this ends up in front of a jury.
And what do we got? The ultimate bad boy. I mean, she's gonna look like a saint when they start picking apart
Well, we're
her
lucky
past.
she's not accusing you. It'd be a lot worse, wouldn't it?
As opposed to what we're in right now.
Stop.
Really?
Right now.
Yeah.
I am trying my hardest to keep this company solvent. And it's hard enough to do with you two sniping at each other.
If we're moving up Discovery, the two of us need to carve out some time to prepare. We don't want Leslie to catch us with our pants down, figuratively, of course.
I am sorry. I'm talking Juliet's made this worse. I'm sorry. And Michael, I will sit down with you and I'll prep whatever you need from me. But right now, I need to go and talk to Lily and tell her this case is back on. Excuse me.
Why do you keep thinking there's a competition between you and Graham?
Gee, I wonder why, Mother.
Well, there's not.
There's not.
No.
You believe that, you are in denial. That man is competing for your attention and your affection, and right now he's winning.
Oh, I didn't know that I had to make a choice between my son and that man who...
That man who what? Go ahead, finish that.
Well, it wasn't easy. It was a tough decision to sell the company and not knowing whether it was the right time or not.
So Graham talked you into that decision?
No, he didn't. He listened and he helped me sort out the realities.
What realities?
Darling, I am a woman in my 70s, and there's certain facts that go along with that.
Mother, don't be morbid.
I'm not being morbid. My sell-by date is a long way off.
Well, I am counting on that.
Well, that's something, darling, I can't control. But there's no reason to worry.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that.
I was hoping my decision to stay would be a positive one for you.
Well, you kept repeatedly insisting on going back to Paris.
Well, I changed my mind. That's a woman's prerogative.
Or is it possible Graham agreed to let you change your mind?
Graham will do anything that will make me happy. And my spending time with my children and my granddaughter makes me very happy right now.
I'm not going to belabor this. I'm not sure what I think I'm going to accomplish with this encounter, but now that my mother's going to be here a while, I do think there are things that need to be said.
Should I make this a double vodka?
You're always so charming.
While you're always so...
Not? Okay, I guess it's up to me to somehow rectify our recent animosity and put it behind us, so... I'm sorry, Graham, again.
Then that's what you said. Thank you for translating.
Honestly, I never anticipated feeling protective over Dina after everything she's done to me and my siblings, but she is still my mother. And it makes me uneasy knowing nothing about her constant companion and what you want with her.
As you assumed. Younger man, older woman.
No, I don't care about that, really. That's your business. I do seem to care about her welfare, however. I would just like to to have some kind of peace with the one man who has more access to my mother than anybody. Or at least coexist.
I mean, I'm grateful you tried, even if your heart wasn't in it. But stay for a coffee anyway.
So, let me guess. Scott went home early and you stayed up all night with the books.
We had a very lovely evening.
Do I detect a certain glow about you?
He makes me very happy.
Good, you deserve that.
And he cooked for me.
Edible?
5-star.
Wow. Maybe he really is a keeper.
You know, Scott is very different than the other men that I've been involved with. He's not rescuing me or protecting me or...
He's wooing you.
And I'm really falling for him.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, you're home early. Everything's going with Victor.
Oh, fine.
You know, Scott, we never get a chance to catch up anymore. About all sorts of things.
That may be a record.
What do you mean?
All sorts of things? That's code for Sharon. You want to know where things stand, don't you?
You know, honey, you don't answer to me. Date who you want to date.
Gee, thanks.
Just know what you're getting into.
You mean, do I know that Sharon has a past or a history? I think everyone in this town does.
Sharon's particular history is unique.
She filled me in on how she discovered that her baby wasn't her biological child and that she had a really difficult time giving him up.
Wow. It's a very interesting interpretation of what happened.
I mean, what's more fair? Judging Sharon on her past or who she is now? I mean, because who she is now is pretty great. And don't forget that I have a history of my own, dark places of my own, which Sharon accepts and likes.
You never.
When I wanted to leave Genoa City, you were extremely vocal about me making a life here. So now that I'm doing that, you just got to give me some space so I can live it.
Honey. You're right. I apologize for,
Being a mom?
yeah. Come here. Just promise me. Promise you're gonna keep your eyes open.
Wide open. Trust me.
So how would you feel, Graham, if your mother was taking advice and relying on what we perceive to be a total stranger instead of her own family?
Well, at least you concede I have a mother. Even if it is wrapped in your usual assumptions about how I control Dina's life.
Don't you?
Anyone who knows Dina knows that she doesn't allow herself to be controlled by anyone. You're not saying it, but you're thinking, unless that person is Dina's lover. And believe me or don't, but that's not our relationship. I love your mother, but not in the way you're presuming.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to take your word for that. You know, this whole thing was a lot easier when I was just angry at Dina. Anger is easy. Looking out for my mother's best interests after everything that's happened. Let's just put it this way. I never thought I'd be wrestling with this issue a year ago. And yet I find myself caring about her. Even though I keep seeing that cartoon playing over and over and over again in my head. You know, the one where the little kid takes the football away right when the other little kid is about to kick it? I feel like I'm just setting myself up for disappointment all over again. You think I sound ridiculous?
No.
Yes, you do.
No, not at all. Fear of disappointment, that's natural.
So far, Juliet is the only name on Leslie's witness list. That means it's her word against all of yours.
Okay, so one person against a united team.
And I'm all for that, but should we be rushing into this?
I think we should get to Juliet's testimony before Leslie has a chance to coach her too much. If I can tap into her emotions, maybe her story will fall apart.
And is there a chance we're underestimating Juliet and Leslie?
You know, you're being very cautious. You usually like to dive right in.
Yeah, I don't want to dive right in and suddenly find our heads underwater.
It's up to you, Victoria. Whatever you decide, Kane's testimony will be critical.
So all of this hangs on Ashby.
Pretty much. But I need a decision. Do we move on this and with any luck blow Juliet's claim out of the water, or do we wait and take our chances?
Can I get a soda water, please?
Hey, Kane. How you doing, man? I heard about the lawsuit.
How'd you find out about the lawsuit?
Neil told me about it, but I want to hear that you squashed it.
Well, I thought I had, and I told Lily I had, but apparently it's back on.
Wow. Well, that's quite the accusation.
Because anyone who knows me knows I wouldn't use my position to try and get a woman into bed.
Yeah, I'd be pretty upset if I were you.
I'm not upset, Devon. I'm terrified because I don't know how this is going to play out. And I don't know if the truth is even going to matter.
Well, the good news is that word hasn't spread. But my advice, before it does, is you be completely straight with my sister.
I already have been.
I mean, like 100% honest with her. Because if there's one thing that can come out in that trial that she doesn't know about, I really think it's best if she hears it from you. Okay? I gotta take off, but good luck with everything.
Thanks.
You say you're happy here now. What does that mean? Is this all temporary?
Son, I never said I'd stay here permanently.
So what, do you have an agenda? You and Graham have decided how much time you're going to allot to your family before he whisks you off again?
No one tells me where I go and when. Not you, not your sisters, and certainly not Graham.
I didn't mean to upset you. I am very glad you decided to stay.
I just don't know how many opportunities I still have in this lifetime. I just think it's time for me to be around the people that I love.
And that includes Graham.
Graham has meant more to me than you can possibly understand. I just don't know how to put it into words.
I'm glad we talked.
Yeah, honesty isn't always easy, but it does pay off.
Of course, that honesty is a one-way street, isn't it? I mean, you and your brother only see me in the context of your mother. It's as if you feel time began for me the day I met Dina, and it'll end once we're no longer in each other's lives.
Well, is that how you feel?
Nothing could be further from reality. I had a full life before Dina entered it, filled with the usual successes and failures and hurt. Not unlike the hurt you keep talking about. Not that you'd be interested.
Who says I'm not interested?
Can we talk?
Yeah. Come with me. What do you need?
I just came from a meeting with Leslie. She is concerned with me being her only witness during depositions. I thought you would make a good character witness.
Me? Testify for you? Juliet, I hardly know you.
But we've talked.
Briefly.
Do I need to remind you about everything you know and how you learned it? You were the only one I told about what happened with Kane before I was fired.
Okay, you can't ask me to do this.
There's no one else. Without you, it's just he said, she said.
Well, you're gonna need to figure something else out. I'm sorry, okay, but I can't help you any more than I have.
You were the one who pushed me to do this in the first place.
I am rooting for you. Trust me. From this point on, you're on your own, sweetie.
Shall I start prepping Kane to testify?
Usually, my instinct would be to proceed slowly, but not in a case like this. We're being attacked. That's the bottom line, and we have to defend ourselves. How long before this leaks out and spreads all over on social media? It's going to be detrimental to Brash and Sassy, so we need to fight. We need to not wait. We need to start the discovery process and expose Juliet for the liar that she is.
Jordan, hi.
Look, I came to apologize for what Hillary's been putting you through.
Come on in.
Why would you owe me an apology?
I should have listened to the warnings you gave me about her. We've had a great time, but here lately I've seen a side of her that kind of scares me.
Yeah, she scares me too. Although I wouldn't tell her that. I just really believe that when she and Devon got divorced, we'd be done with her. But it wasn't enough for her to wreck my father and my brother's life. Now she's coming after me too and using Kane to do it. It's a nightmare.
You're gonna be okay, Lily.
It's just, it hurts, you know? All of these ugly, unfounded allegations against Kane.
You believe in Kane. You two have a great marriage. You'll be okay. Hey, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, but do you believe that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, I do. Here.
Next on The Young and the Restless.
I think we've made enough wrong assumptions about each other. What do you say about starting over?
Victoria's emotional well-being, that's such a problem. I just wish I was as confident now as I was going into this.
You're lucky you have such a good friend.
Join us again for The Young and the Restless.